Excited is the name of the game, and the game is Grab the Trace, the podcast, the studio, the lifestyle, the well-being brand.
Whoa, did you write this down?
No,
what
I didn't.
Is this?
This is because currently Mikaela and I are on a binge of We Crashed, Apple TV Plus.
Yeah, look.
You're welcome. Jared Leto is not a vibe for us.
No.
Anne Hathaway is maybe ruining her place in my mind and my heart.
She's not Princess Diaries here.
The show is very she's not. That's one of Caitlin's favourite movies. It's terrifying in a sense that I don't want to like them as actors, but that probably is only a testament to how good a job they're doing acting.
Oh, yeah. I generally and genuinely dislike them both.
The two Gs.
Yeah. So dislike their characters. So they're doing very well.
They're doing very well to ruin a lifetime of admiration from
honestly, for Devil's Wear Prada, loved her.
Oh my goodness, seriously.
She's the queen. And
we were talking about him in Fight Club the other day as well.
Fight Club, Jared Leto in Fight Club. Holy moly. What a way.
Yeah, he's really...
can you believe that he's 50?
Yeah, it's...
What?
Jared Leto 50.
What is his skincare routine?
Not George Clooney. Brad Pitt 60.
Yeah.
And there was someone else I heard the other day. I heard their age and I was like, what?
Yeah. Jared Leto, I think he's 51.
That's insane, hey?
51.
Because he was 30 Seconds to Mars, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Damn.
He has the most
good songs.
His skin.
Yeah, it's like...
It's perfection.
Divine.
Like, what? Has he been using 50 plus since he left the womb?
He's been using La Roche-Posay for his far out. What's the one that I use? The Efficare or whatever.
Everclear,
thank you.
That's right. I know the range.
We're into skincare as well, everybody. This is actually now a skincare podcast.
Yeah. Can you believe we're 45?
We're actually, you're 45. Surprise, surprise. I'm 80.
Okay.
I'm 80. That's why my jokes are so old and lame.
So obviously Lockie's started at the same workplace.
Yes.
As me, and someone got a little bit of a compliment, didn't you?
Oh my goodness, yes.
The other day.
Lydia, if you're listening, thank you so much. I'm still smiling.
22.
I think,
in what world?
Yeah, that was quite a nice day to be like, because I was like, oh yeah, I've only got 6 months and then I turned 30. And she was like, oh no way, I thought you were like 22. I'm like, oh my God, do you really mean that?
Stop. He hasn't shut up about
Just
it all
goes
week.
Straight to my head. I loved it. Well, talking about looking good.
Yep.
And you know what? Even a little bit of a thing here in terms of looking at a building and being like, no way, you're that old. We're going to bring you a project. This is an Inspiration Gram week, but it's Inspiration Gram 2.0. This is faster, punchier, and with a little bit of a moral of the story at the end.
Yeah, I like that.
Because we're trying to rebrand Grab the Trace into this like big, like you remember how we used to make jokes about like being like tummy tea? We've got to be more marketable. We've got to be punchier. We've got to be a little more controversial in our leanings. Right. But maybe not that much.
Yeah. Look, coming from the 80-year-old, I don't know.
So good. I've been through world wars. All right. So we are looking at a project called Tiger Prawn this week.
I hate the name. Can I just say? I hate the name. I do not get a visual of that when I think of Tiger Prawn. I can tell you that.
So I'm probably going to stuff this up, but the name
or is it keep the body, rip away the head? Did you ever used to hear of that saying? It's like, oh, how hot is he or how hot is she? It's like, oh, she's a lollipop or he's a prawn. Have you ever heard of that?
I haven't. But
so
you know
lollipop,
what?
obviously like a pretty face.
But nothing else going on.
Yeah. Or a prawn, you keep the body, throw away the head.
Keep the body and throw away the head.
Prawn.
Is such an interesting way of describing this because it is really like that Tale of Two Cities kind of vibe. So the other thing I'm probably going to butcher is the name of the architecture firm. The firm?
Wowowa.
But there's an extra W, so it's Wowowa. Wowowa. Did you see that?
Wait. Wowowa.
Wowowa. Monique Woodford, I'm so sorry. Wowowa indeed. This is just a banger of a project. I mean, this is old as time as well. This is from 2018 and I only found it earlier this week. Mikaela is out of this room, so I'll take over. So
I'm back.
Look at this, the description. Inspired by the Tiger Prawn, this terrace house renovation by Wowowa Architecture is both a gesture designed for public delight and a series of playful spaces to be privately enjoyed.
Okay, can I just say straight off the bat, inspired by the Tiger Prawn?
Yeah. What's inspired? What is the Tiger Prawn do? Oh, is it maybe the... Oh, like, you know how the prawns have like the carapace, like that, like does it's almost like a
Ribbed.
Yeah.
I could not think of one, an uglier animal to base a house off, and two, a house that is so beautiful.
Yeah.
I do not think of
It's
a prawn.
kind of like when you see someone
Bizarre.
really attractive and you're like, oh my
Is it the
goodness, what's
shape?
her name? And it's like, oh, her name's Janice. And it's like, oh.
Unfortunate
Yeah.
Susan.
Oh, Susan's a tough name. I'm trying to
Karen.
think for like boys. It's like, oh my goodness, that guy's so
David.
hot. David.
Ew, David.
Ew. What is a boy's name that you would hate? I mean, we've got a bit of time. We've got a bit of fat in the program.
Oh, there's
Boy's
going to
name.
be listeners out there that have this name, so we're going to offend.
Oh,
We've
that's
offended
Kurt.
Kurt.
Kurt's like actually a pretty attractive name. Damn.
No, I know Kurt's and they're lovely.
Yeah.
Shout out, photographer for my wedding.
Shout out, Kurt. Good photos. If you've got a copy of them, can you please send them through?
Gone.
Gone
We're
to
gone.
the tunnels of time.
gone.
We looked great.
We did. I don't know.
We looked great. We've got
Apparently
a couple
we
of candidates left. Maybe like a Bert. Like Bert's a tough name.
Oh. See, that's what I
Unless
named
it's
my
like
dog.
Albert. Really?
Hubert. Birdie.
Oh, okay.
Little Bert.
Little birdie beetle.
Little Hubert.
Little Hubie birdie.
Yeah, see, there's no... I don't know.
Yeah, all male names are attractive, except maybe Adolf. Maybe that's not a good name.
Adolf.
Yeah.
Adolf. Adolf.
Maybe, but that's maybe just a little bit.
I think
like,
that just has a bit of a...
It's a little bit on the nose, that one. Are you still crying from earlier?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
so sorry. Well, listen, let's turn your
Yep.
tears from laughter to joy.
Let's do it.
We're looking...
This is your project.
This is
You
a
found
me
it, so I
thing.
feel like
Oh, you're gonna people are gonna look at this and be like, "Well, Mikaela didn't pick this one," but
it's
that's
very
fine.
architectural. There is some very expensive moments in here.
Oh, this is what I was telling you about. So we went out to lunch. So I'm going to zoom in on a detail here and I'll paint a picture for the people at home. So
Okay.
we're talking about a doorway that either has very small arcs or no arcs.
Mm-hmm.
It is a white painted door with just a raw timber frame and then a matching, I guess, handle in that same timber.
Pull handle.
I am absolutely obsessed with the kind of impact that makes. And you're going to maybe say it's a little bit basic. Am I leaning that way?
Can I say that I don't like it at all?
Why do you not like it?
One, it's the timber color choice throughout
Okay.
the whole house. It's not for me. It's either like too red or too yellow, and it's like stripy. And
There's
I
a
get
lot
the
of
whole
variation
it's
to
a
it.
prawn, a tiger prawn.
But
I
like,
get it.
see the door frame color here for the external door. So everyone at home, there's like a bleachy, blondie kind of oaky timber.
It's not even oaky. It's too rich.
Too rich,
It's
too deep.
like, to me, that's an Australian species,
It probably is.
and I like more a European oak
Yeah, I mean,
in terms of a
obviously.
palette.
Yeah.
But then to me, it's like the opposite of what I would rather have, an oak door
Oh, okay.
with white architraves and a white handle. Like,
That's your style.
yeah,
That's a bit of
yeah, honestly.
it's just-
But
that's
this
what I
is
want.
so contemporary Australiana,
yeah.
architectural,
I mean, let's.
and different.
Do we
I
want
like
to
that it's
hit
different.
the checkpoint here?
Yeah,
So,
let's go.
existing house of character and probably a little bit of heritage.
I'm disappointed
Tick.
that they don't show a photo.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find it for the gram. So tick. We've got a lot of glazing. Tick. Internal courtyard.
You know, that's
Tick.
a Lockie favourite.
We've got a very clear juxtaposition between the existing external form and then the proposed form, which
so
is
that whole very traditional to like super contemporary out the back, which is nice.
I
for an
love that. Like,
architect.
I don't like necessarily mimicking the front and trying to bring it through and be like, they built
it was
it like
always
this.
here. My bad.
No, I want it to be
the
clearly
media room and the
delineated.
cinema room and the
because
wine
then you
tasting room, totally from 1900s.
Yeah, the golf simulator room from the 13s. So just height as well here is just
It feels
on offer.
Very generous and
Just stunning.
very
Here,
light.
let's just go into the gallery.
Okay,
I
let's
mean,
go. First image.
First image is just stunning, and that's pretty much what we just talked through.
but
Sorry,
great.
we talked through it. So it's just like height, glazing, timber, internal
Curved
courtyard,
glass.
curved glass. Now, so for everyone at home who wants to play a game, curved glass is horrendously expensive.
Beyond the most expensive
What you will
element.
usually find is people will split or fragment a window into smaller sections.
Yep.
Because that is
Chamfer.
way cheaper. Like if instead of being one 180-degree curve, if you split that into 8 straight sections of glass, you're probably looking at maybe half the cost. Because if
Probably
you
even
do
less
a
than.
curved single piece of glass, there's a really good Grand Designs episode that kind of explains the process in it. I think it's in Joe Adset's Boomerang House.
Oh, so the Australian Grand Designs?
Yes, sir.
Boomerang House, Greyer.
The process is insane, and the cost of the glass being curved is ridiculous. I think it was like 50 or 80 grand for
easy.
one pane of glass.
I wouldn't deny that at all. But it's not even, obviously, think about the manufacturing of curved glass. It's the transport. How do you
100%.
transport a large section of curved glass and it not scratch or break or move? Or like, what type of truck? How do you stand it up? Do you lie it down?
Yeah.
Like, what do you do?
I have no idea. And then the other thing, what if the drawings that you've sent off for it don't match the radius? Don't match the radius of what's been built on site for a slab recess.
It would actually be cheaper to redo the slab or redo the walls around it than it would be that glass. Like that glass would stipulate what gets
I
built.
would do is I would have the windows on site and I would use the packaging. I'm assuming they come in and like get the bottom radius as like a template and just set, like I would pour the slab down. But like that's horribly inefficient. You're waiting a year longer than you need to be. So stunning there.
Stunning.
I'm a big believer in like natural timbers and stuff as a wall finish. Like absolutely obsessed with it all.
Please explain that the curved glass is actually the formation of the internal courtyard as well. So come on, stunning.
Come on. Because instead of doing a rectangular one where you would have had either a smaller courtyard or a smaller internal area, there's just something to this that just feels generous by kind of like softly scooping you in and around it.
Yeah. As soon as you do any, in terms of any internal wall or island bench, or as soon as you introduce curves, it feels way more generous.
Love it. Love it to death. Love it to death. Now, this is the elevation that got me talking. So we are talking a very low-cost building material. It looks like just a grey, I can't tell if it's an actual like masonry block or if it's a grey brick. I'm leaning more towards masonry just because of the scale of it.
Brick, because you can get them in like brick form instead of a block.
And this is what we were talking about in terms of segmenting or as you said, what was it? Chamfering a curve or a radius. I don't hate that it's not smooth because when you zoom out enough, it looks organic. It looks like it's curved. But as soon as you get in, you get almost like a fish scale kind of effect.
It's cool. Do you want to explain to the listeners who aren't staring at their screen and they're driving?
Yeah.
And who we don't want to stop on the side of the road to see this.
It's just a great point.
It's a 2-story home.
Yep.
With high ceilings, so a very tall, skinny home.
Mm-hmm.
And we have scalloped exterior facade moments, but multiple scallops, so it looks like a beautiful...
On more than just one elevation. It's pretty much I don't even know how to really...
It looks like a scalloped tower.
Yeah.
That's like with a flat top.
And it is
very pretty.
So ahead of its time in terms of what it's trying to do.
That's constructed out of like a brick pattern block. In a soft grey.
And we've got these windows that are just set so deeply into the facade that it's almost creating window hoods and awnings and eaves. You're still relating and responding to the Australian environment, but without having to go traditional on it.
Architect, hat on for a second. Mr. Architect, where we can see these external windows, as you said and described, it's recessed back quite far, isn't it? So does that mean that obviously the internal walls are probably like straight, like a box, square?
Yep.
Is that quite? And don't get me wrong, it's spectacular, and I'm not here picking it apart. I'm just saying that they've used a lot of materials and space of the block to achieve that facade treatment.
Yes. Yep.
You're not gaining that internally. It's just lost on this formation.
You could interchange this brick facade for a screen and it is serving the exact same function.
Purpose.
You might get more benefit from this in terms of it being a thermal mass.
The thickness.
100%. You might be getting more benefit out of this because it creates an air cavity for thermal massing and insulation purposes. But
you can treat a normal external wall 100%. And then have this screen on and you're still saving.
This is just purely decorative.
Yeah.
It's
effective.
To be honest with you,
to...
it's just a little bit of fun.
It is.
And that's what
different.
I'm so in love with it. We've got some planters on one of the elevations cascading just down. And so you go from this quite cold, brutalist kind of concrete block form. You've got these natural Australian timber sections of cladding which warm it up. And then you've got this planting moment that kind of just helps it connect to the landscaping.
Can I make from an interior designer's perspective on this? When I look at that external facade and I'm looking like the little wall light that's round, the scallop details, the timber cladding elements, I actually get very interior design vibes in the sense that I would look at that and be like, oh, that could be the inspiration for a bathroom, or like I would use like a brick or like a subway tile, and then I'd use those little wall lights, like a round wall light, and then I would have timber cabinetry, and like instantly that's in my mind, I'm like, oh, I could do a bathroom design with that palette and design and create that elevation just like that. It feels like these architects have almost done opposite. You know how like interior designers gain inspiration from the built form, what the external looks like, what the architects have come up with, and then they kind of run with that, and then how do we bring that inside? I feel like the architects have been inspired from interior designers.
And brought it outside.
Yeah.
Well, listen.
I get it. I get that vibe.
If
I'm
really,
wrong, I'm sorry.
Well, who cares? I mean,
from
honestly, Wowowa. I mean, this is another. We're on to the next image, internal
beautiful.
shot. Pretty much all the same notes we hit from the first one, except we've got some of that grey, bricky masonry now as an internal wall finish.
Yeah, beautiful.
Which is just helping that connection. And it's really making these timber window frames and door frames really pop.
Isn't that glass stunning? But I would like to note, there's no ventilation here, guys. This is all fixed glass.
Yeah, it does. It does all look fixed, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So whether there's like
they're doors.
Yeah, so those are doors, but then
but there's no windows.
You have to open the door. So maybe there's like some sections of glazing, but on this one it's just for natural lighting
Melbourne,
purposes.
Did you say?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so there's no mosquitoes. It's not Queensland.
Yeah, so you can kind of just leave it open all day.
We're good.
So into the kitchen, we've got this kind of bluey grey cabinetry with, once again, the timbers. And this is probably where I'm going to start leaning more in your camp in terms of the type of timbers, maybe not so much for me. Like there's some overhead cupboard shelf moment here, and it's just very rich red. Like it's quite full on. Are you going to backflip and now love it, and I'm going to look like a dick?
No,
This is not for you?
Not for me.
But
that's me, just the layout.
Yeah.
Like an internal corner. Like I'm all for symmetry and I love that, but I don't love an L corner kitchen.
Yep.
Especially when you've got your cooktop and your sink right next to each other.
Oh, I see.
So when someone's trying to wash up, open the dishwasher, open up the cutlery drawer, and then some person's cooking, you're just like, get out of my way. And then your fridge is on the outside, your oven and microwave's on the outside. I just feel like it would have been maybe a better use if the sink was on the island.
Yeah.
And then the rear is the cooktop. And then I would have had all talls on one side and then all bench on one with the cooktop, and then would have had the sink on the island.
And listen, the people at home are going to be able to see this because we'll put the floor plans up.
Yeah.
This is one of the great projects where we've been able to get the floor plans in some external perspectives. Yep. So, I mean, we've just got another seat here, built-in banquette with the timber.
Yeah, beautiful. I love the wall lights. The lighting throughout here is spectacular. The lighting,
natural and artificial, is just... That might be the hype.
And scale.
Not that everything else is off, but this is...
So stunning.
This is really working for me. Like, once again, we've got another
beautiful. Another internal courtyard?
Well, so this one's almost like a deck.
Yeah.
Like, I guess, like a little terrace deck area. And we've just got... Just the glazing, once again, is the hero here. We can now start to see some of the existing brick of the...
the little original windows. Look at the little windowsill. So
just
cute.
Stunning of the existing form. I love this so much. And
look at those timber like the doors and the glazing. That's bloody fabulous.
Froth-worthy. Like we're talking full height, probably 2.7 to 3 meters high.
Seamless.
And just the way that the screening's been designed on the boundary here from the neighbours as well, is it's pure privacy for you, but then you've just got what is essentially just an enormous skylight worth of light punching straight into this like area. It's just, oh my goodness, I love it so much. So another elevation of this back wall. Say hello to Huey. You can maybe see his nose on Mikaela's like side of things, but we'll keep moving forward. So just the front, we're now onto a front on of what I'm assuming is the backyard. Yep. So it's quite a narrow block.
The two doors.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. So it's quite a narrow block. not symmetrical, which is an interesting one here. Like it looks like the right-hand side is slightly wider in proportion, so that probably relates to
is
the
that on
internal
the corner
arrangement.
though? Like
Yeah, so I
it
think
opens
it's
up to the corner of the yard.
Yeah, 100%.
That's nice. With the light, I really rate that
this
light.
is giving me what I all right. So the design, if I had to try and distill it down, this is almost what I would envisage if you were to design like a church or something. Now, you know, you have all those grand cathedrals and stuff in like England, and they're all like this. To me, seems like
it's
a
a bit
really,
Gothic architecture. Yeah,
a really, really modern take on that in terms of striking forms, a depth adjustment as well in terms of the planes we're working with.
Yep. No, I vibe with that. It's very different. I haven't seen anything like
bloody
this.
dichondra as well.
It is.
Oh my goodness.
Silver dichondra at that.
Mikaela put me onto this stuff, and if you go to Bunnings and get seedlings of it, or like little pots, like it just grows so well. It does. Beautiful, beautiful plant. So
we're in my favourite part of the house.
And the reason I think we're cooking here is we're actually in the heritage part of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, there is a light in this room. Normally, I am not this kind of guy.
Oh.
I think this is stunning.
Really? You're into it?
Yeah, I just look at it and I think for the colour, the scale, and then the actual like sculptural form of this thing is spot on. And it's just
it goes so well with the rest
working
of the house.
so nicely for me. And even like the door into this room where it's almost like, I guess it's a bifold door.
Yeah.
But the kind of heritagey like arched door header.
Stunning. Look at the cornicing.
Everybody here, I'm just zooming in now. Like this is similar to, was it that Biosol one we did that had the ridiculous horsehair plaster cornice and like the casing on these windows?
Can we even
just
talk about the wall colour?
I don't mind it.
It's quite beautiful. It's like a very, very soft grey green.
Yeah, it's
like a sea spray.
Oh, that's a nice way to describe, like sea foamy green kind of.
But very subtle. I feel like if you
soft pastel-like.
If you took everything out of there, you'd be like, is it grey? Is it green? Is it?
Yeah.
Is it just like the shade? Like it's not a green. Oh my! It's not like shouting at you. It's very, very subtle. It's very beautiful, and with all the white, I think it just looks really stunning.
I'm obsessed with that.
Same.
Oh my goodness.
I'm all into the heritage. So,
now this
hello.
is our final image for this episode.
Yep.
And I'll put up the plans on the Instagram so everyone can have a look. Or I might even put it up. I guess we're going to be the small camera down the bottom.
On.
How would I do this? I'm going to go star wipe. And we're back. That's going to look so good in editing. So we're now in a bathroom. So this, I don't know how I feel about this. Do you want to break down the finishes? We've got time. Do you want to break down the individual finishes?
Cool. So we're looking at a pretty straightforward bathroom in terms of layout. So we've got vanity, toilet in the center, shower at the end. We're looking at a fixed piece of glass for the shower, all frameless. Materials wise, we're looking at it looks like Fibonacci, so an Italian terrazzo. We've got that on the floor running all the way up the shower wall. We have what looks to be the Inax tile, which is like a Japanese glazed ceramic finger, like Kit Kat tile they call it.
Yeah, would you say that this is probably where a lot of the tile shops in Australia started doing this Kit Kat tile style from, was like it's products like this that are the higher end stuff that was getting done around, and then they kind of went, that's going to be the next
a trendsetter. Yeah, I think like Artie Domus is very well known for their like Japanese glazed, especially the Inax tile, which is like their probably most infamous.
Yep.
I would say ceramic mosaic kind of tile, but it's what you don't get from like Beaumont or National Tiles or like your cheaper kind of ones is these particular glazes. Like this is a traditional Japanese glazed tile. So the color and the variation that you're getting from like all those individual little sections of tiles is like out of this world. It's beautiful. Like you can even see here in this image, some of them have got that foamy green blue kind of tone to it. I'll see if I can
zoom in a little more.
Yeah, like it's
but like how beautiful.
It's really nice. So that's like a little bit of a splashback to the tapware. It looks like, is that a polished chrome? I would say
it is.
Not into the polished chrome, but that's okay. It goes well with the palette. I would have loved like obviously like a brushed nickel. Would have been a bit nicer. But we've also got some Tattalact, which is like a lime plaster, full height walls kind of above the terrazzo in the shower.
Yeah, so
And behind the
ceiling
toilet.
height are we working
This
with?
is
This is going to be like
huge.
3 meters easily.
Oh, over, I would say.
but I guess
like-
it's all got to tie into the existing floor to floors of that existing house.
I would say 3. Because
Yeah,
look at like the toilet flush plate. So that's our good like 1150,
Oh,
1200.
geez, you're right.
And then the height of the glass, I would even put that at 2.7, 3 meters.
Yeah.
Like that's 2.7 minimum.
Like how...
And then that's not 300 mil to the top of the ceiling. I would say that's 600. So yeah.
So the
I'd go
question I've got for you on this
3.
is there ever a situation where you wouldn't take all the available ceiling height on offer? Because to me, this probably feels like a smaller ensuite or
Yeah.
guest bathroom. This feels
Scale. Yeah.
proportionally a little tough to me. So just to kind of run over again.
Yeah.
So this is the Tiger Prawn house from
Yep.
Wowowa Architect, Tam, from Wowowa Architecture. Really good effort here. Built by, let's just do the full credits list. Moon Building Group, Acor. Is that Acor
That's the engineer.
Consulting? I deal with another Acor. I don't know if it's the same one. We've got the jointed by Clever Camp Bros, Cabinet Makers, landscaping by Straw Brothers. I think the landscaping's pretty spot on. So well done, Straw
that
Brothers
internal
as well.
courtyard.
Yeah, stunning. We love it. It's
So
hard
nice.
to it's hard to like,
Silver
paint one of
dichondra
those.
got you.
Yep, they got us. So
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, that
That's
was
it.
amazing.
The
Thank
next
you for
project
bringing
will be
this.
Michaela's. Don't worry, but this is an important stage to go through.
I want projects that are like, oh, this is a you project for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
And then I'll give you this Georgian manner that you're like, I'm bored. I've
be
seen
honest
it like
with you,
for 500 years. Can you give me something
I love
else?
Georgian manor. Like we we drove past like a modern take on like a Georgian manor this morning. I still love it.
I told you.
We've got some
Classic.
exciting stuff. We'll put because some of the project work we're doing is some pretty exciting projects. So we'll hit up
Bring
the
you
clients.
along.
We'll hit up our clients and we'll see if we can get some permission to share some like in progress stuff if they're comfortable with it and kind of go from there.
How exciting. Bring
Very
you
exciting.
all along.
And then I'm sure the people from all these projects we've wronged will start up their own podcast and be like, did you see the bloody handle that Mikaela selected on that one? I mean, what was she smoking? And then they hit like a button on their sound pad that's like
Just for me.
just a clap, snaps from Mikaela.
Wit, 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 wit.
Thank you very much.
Thanking
another
you.
done done
Always.
deal episode.
Yeah, loved it.
Everybody at home, enjoy that one.
Yeah.
The next episode might look a little bit better because someone may have bought a new iPhone. So
An iPhone, what number now?
14 Pro Max.
Oh, the Max, of course.
The Max.
Large
Hopefully it still
screen.
fits the phone holder that we've got up there or else we're going to have
Love
issues.
it. We're going to be buying a new phone
We're
holder.
going to be buying a new phone holder or taping it to the wall.
Woo! Awesome.
See you later, gangsters.
Thanks, guys.
Keep thugging it. We're going to do that one again because Mikaela is like visibly cringing. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you again next time.
Keep hugging it.
We've come to the end of another episode. If you have any questions, reach out to us on our Instagram @GrabTheTrace. Following, sharing, leaving a review or a rating is the best way to help the show. Our opening and closing music was created by Robert Hellberg. And whilst we try to help as much as possible, this podcast is of a general nature and won't be able to take into account your individual circumstance. If you need personalised advice, you should engage a relevant professional consultant to help make the best decisions for your situation. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.